Keep climbing. Find power in each step. Written by Ronnie Rowland. Published by Growth Literacy Lounge. Introduction. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a vast mountain trail, the path winding upward with no clear end in sight. The air is still, yet filled with anticipation. Each step forward feels both daunting and exhilarating, as the climb ahead promises unknown challenges and hidden strengths waiting to be uncovered. You can't help but wonder what lies at the peak, and more importantly, who will you become along the way? Every journey begins with a single step, often taken with uncertainty and hesitation. But as you commit to moving forward, step by step, something remarkable unfolds. This isn't a climb you undertake for applause or recognition, it's a journey of resilience, where each footfall teaches you more about your inner strength and courage. In these quiet, uncelebrated moments, the real power emerges, shaping not only the path but the climber. In this book, we'll explore what it means to keep climbing, even when the trail is steep and the outcome unclear. Together, we'll discover how each step, every choice to continue, brings forth power and perspective, revealing not just a new view but a deeper understanding of yourself. Chapter 1. The first step. Embracing your mountain. Imagine standing at the base of a towering mountain, its peak hidden by clouds. It's a giant that stretches beyond your vision, wrapped in mystery, perhaps intimidating, perhaps exhilarating. As you gaze up, a quiet but persistent voice inside you asks, what would it feel like to stand at the top? It's an honest, unfiltered curiosity, a pull towards something beyond the comfort and familiarity of flat ground. And yet, even as the question lingers, doubts rush in. Am I strong enough? Is it worth the struggle? This is where all journeys begin, with a single, often hesitant step. For every one of us, that mountain represents something unique. It could be a dream deferred, a new career path, a personal project, or even an internal battle with self-doubt. But no matter what your mountain is, the first step toward it is the hardest, simply because it's the point where you break from the familiar and choose the unknown. As you begin this audiobook, I encourage you to look within and identify your mountain. This isn't about climbing for recognition or proving something to others. Instead, this journey is about seeing life from a new vantage point, about finding strength within that only reveals itself when tested. It's about climbing not to be seen, but to gain a new view of yourself and the world around you. Let's explore why this initial choice to embrace your mountain is so difficult yet transformative. We often hesitate because we're conditioned to avoid the unknown. There's safety in the familiar routines and paths that keep us grounded. But if we spend our lives only in these comfortable spaces, we risk losing the chance to grow, to experience the heights of what we're capable of. In answering the call to climb, we're making a profound choice to evolve, to see the world from an expanded perspective. And there's power in understanding that this journey is about internal transformation. Unlike societal expectations that often push us to achieve for applause or validation, this path invites us to venture forward simply for ourselves, to nurture an intimate connection with our own potential and resilience. One of the biggest barriers people face at this stage is the fear of failure. What if I fall short? What if I realize I'm not strong enough? These are honest questions, but they're born from a place of self-judgment. Instead of focusing on potential outcomes, consider what happens if you don't try. A life lived without reaching for the unknown becomes small, limited, confined to the valleys. Take the story of renowned mountaineer Sir Edmund Hillary, one of the first two climbers confirmed to have reached the summit of Mount Everest. When asked why he decided to climb the world's tallest mountain, he famously replied, "Because it is there." It wasn't for recognition, it was for the inner pull, the desire to see the world from a place few had reached. For Hillary, the call of the mountain was a call to self-discovery. In much the same way, each of us is drawn to unique goals and aspirations, often for reasons we can't fully articulate. This chapter invites you to think deeply about what mountain in your life calls out to you. It may not be Everest, it may be learning a new skill, improving a relationship, or finally starting a project you've been putting off. But whatever form it takes, the point is to embrace the calling, to realize that by setting foot on this path, you're opening yourself to new perspectives, ones that aren't visible from where you currently stand. Consider Jane Goodall, the celebrated primatologist who transformed how we understand both chimpanzees and humanity itself. Jane was called to a mountain that was uncharted, studying wild chimpanzees in the forests of Tanzania at a time when women rarely engaged in field science. She embarked on her journey alone, driven by curiosity and a profound sense of purpose. Goodall's journey was not easy. She faced isolation, hardship, and even skepticism from her peers. But it was her unwavering commitment to the path, rather than any desire for recognition, that made her work groundbreaking. Through her experiences, she discovered more about both her own resilience and the complex connections between humans and animals. Her story exemplifies what it means to answer a call without the guarantee of success, driven by the promise of perspective and insight. Think also of people closer to home, friends, family members, or colleagues who have dared to pursue new endeavors. There is a quiet but powerful growth that comes with every small step forward, every inch upward. Each of us has someone in our lives who has climbed a personal mountain, often without fanfare, but with immense personal reward. As we wrap up this chapter, take a moment to think about a mountain that calls to you. It could be something large, like a career shift, or something personal, like achieving a sense of peace within yourself. Whatever it is, acknowledge that pull, that inner voice that whispers, "What if?" You don't need to know the entire path or have every step planned. You just need the courage to take the first step. In the end, this journey is not about who's watching or applauding, it's about the strength, perspective, and transformation you gain along the way. As you continue with this audiobook, know that each chapter will guide you, offering insights to help you climb, grow, and see your life from heights you may not yet imagine. Take that first step, and let's begin this journey together. Chapter 2. Preparing for the climb. Building resilience. Now that you've chosen your mountain, it's time to prepare for the climb. Think of any seasoned adventurer preparing for a major journey. They gather supplies, train their bodies, and prepare mentally. But for most of us, the climb isn't a literal mountain. It's a personal goal, a challenge, or a transformation that requires a different type of preparation: resilience. Resilience is more than just willpower or grit. It's the mental, emotional, and sometimes even spiritual strength we build to keep moving forward when the going gets tough. Think of resilience as the backpack you carry along the journey. Every tool inside, whether it's patience, self-compassion, or adaptability, will help you face obstacles and surprises along the way. The more intentional you are about filling that backpack, the better prepared you'll be when challenges arise. In this chapter, we'll explore how to build the kind of resilience that will help you tackle the climb ahead. You'll learn techniques to foster inner strength, discover ways to overcome the fear of failure, and see why preparing your mindset is just as important as preparing any physical tool. Remember, resilience isn't just about being unbreakable, it's about being flexible, able to adapt, and ready to keep moving forward. Building resilience starts with understanding that every journey has its share of rough patches. Preparing for the climb isn't about removing obstacles from your path, but equipping yourself with the tools to face them. Resilience is like a muscle. It grows stronger the more you use it. Each time you encounter a setback or obstacle, you have an opportunity to build that muscle. One of the most critical aspects of resilience is self-compassion. People often believe that resilience means being tough or unyielding, but that's a limited view. True resilience includes the ability to be kind to yourself, especially in moments of struggle. Self-compassion allows you to forgive yourself when things go wrong, and to get back up without being weighed down by self-doubt or shame. It's not about avoiding mistakes but learning from them without harsh self-criticism. When we practice self-compassion, we make room for growth. Another essential tool for resilience is adaptability. Life, like any challenging trail, is unpredictable. The best prepared hikers don't only follow the trail, they adapt to unexpected turns, detours, and obstacles. When you cultivate adaptability, you allow yourself to move with changes rather than fighting against them. This flexibility can be built through practices like journaling, where you reflect on unexpected events in your life and how you manage them. When you learn to adjust, each shift becomes an opportunity to deepen your resilience. A third and equally powerful tool is mindfulness. Being present in the moment allows you to face challenges with a calm mind, seeing things as they are instead of being swept away by emotions or fears about the future. Many people find that practicing even a few minutes of mindfulness each day, whether through meditation, deep breathing, or simply focusing on the task at hand, helps them develop a sense of calm that becomes invaluable during challenging times. When you're mindful, obstacles become less overwhelming because you're no longer lost in what ifs. Instead, you can assess each situation objectively and decide on the best course of action. Consider the story of J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Rowling faced immense hardship before her success, including the end of a marriage, single parenthood, and financial difficulties. But her resilience came from the ability to see failure not as an endpoint but as a stepping stone. Each rejection letter and setback she faced could have been a reason to give up, but instead, she used them as fuel, building a sense of inner strength. Her adaptability allowed her to take feedback, refine her work, and keep going. Through resilience, she transformed her struggles into one of the world's most beloved literary achievements. Or take the example of athletes who train their bodies and minds for peak performance. Think of a marathon runner. They don't just practice running, they also prepare for exhaustion, unexpected weather conditions, and moments of mental fatigue. They practice resilience by visualizing themselves overcoming these challenges, strengthening their mindset long before the race even begins. This mental preparation, combined with physical training, enables them to push through when things get tough. Just like these athletes, building resilience before facing your mountain will prepare you for the unexpected. Preparing for your climb is as much about fortifying your inner landscape as it is about any outward preparation. Resilience isn't about being perfect or never stumbling, it's about the strength to keep going when you do. By cultivating self-compassion, adaptability, and mindfulness, you equip yourself to face whatever comes, no matter how rough the path gets. So as you get ready to take on your mountain, remember that resilience is a journey in itself. Each practice of compassion, each moment of mindfulness, each time you adapt to a small change, you're strengthening your resolve. You're putting tools in your backpack that will be invaluable on the trail ahead. With every step you take toward building resilience, you're moving one step closer to the summit. Keep filling that backpack, and remember that resilience isn't about perfection, it's about progress, one step at a time. Chapter 3. Facing setbacks. Every trail has its challenges. Picture yourself halfway up the mountain, finally starting to gain altitude. You've been climbing steadily, feeling confident with each step forward. Then, suddenly, a storm rolls in. The trail becomes slippery, visibility fades, and the once clear path forward now feels treacherous. Your heart races. In these moments, doubt starts to creep in. Is it worth it? Can I keep going? This scenario isn't unique to literal mountains, it mirrors the setbacks we all face in life. We often start strong, filled with motivation, only to find ourselves challenged by unexpected obstacles. And just as with any journey, setbacks on the path to our goals are inevitable. They test our patience, resilience, and commitment. But these moments also provide the chance to grow, to learn, and to develop an even deeper resolve. In this chapter, we'll explore why setbacks aren't just obstacles, they're essential parts of any journey. We'll look at ways to reframe failure, see it as an opportunity for growth, and find the strength to continue. Remember, every storm you face teaches you more about your strength and adaptability, bringing you closer to the summit with each step forward. The first step in facing setbacks is accepting them as part of the process. Often, we set out on our journeys hoping for a smooth path, but expecting perfection can lead to unnecessary disappointment. Setbacks aren't signs of failure, they're tests of our dedication. When we anticipate challenges and accept them as part of the journey, we're less likely to feel derailed when they arise. One of the most powerful tools in overcoming setbacks is reframing failure. Instead of seeing failure as an endpoint, consider it a checkpoint, a moment to pause, reflect, and adapt. Every time you face an obstacle, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience make me stronger? By seeing failure as a learning opportunity, you transform it from something that halts your progress into something that drives it. This shift in perspective can be life-changing, allowing you to approach each setback with a mindset of curiosity rather than defeat. Another essential part of facing setbacks is learning to pivot. Sometimes the original plan no longer works, and that's okay. Flexibility is a key trait for anyone climbing their mountain, whether literal or metaphorical. Learning to adapt your goals and adjust your approach keeps you moving forward, even when the trail is blocked. Pivoting isn't about giving up, it's about finding a new way forward. This can mean taking a different route, breaking down the goal into smaller steps, or even taking a temporary step back to reassess. Finally, remember the importance of self-trust. When setbacks happen, it's easy to doubt yourself and your abilities. But trust in the person who has already made it this far. Trust in the version of yourself that took the first step toward this mountain. Self-trust is an inner compass that can guide you when the path forward is unclear. Each time you encounter a challenge, remind yourself of the resilience you've built so far and use it as fuel to keep going. Take the story of Oprah Winfrey, a media icon who overcame significant setbacks in her life. Early in her career, she was fired from a television job, told she was unfit for TV. That moment could have ended her dreams, but instead, it fueled her drive to succeed. She adapted her approach, eventually creating her own path and revolutionizing television. Oprah didn't see setbacks as the end, she saw them as signals to pivot, adjust, and keep climbing. Or consider Thomas Edison, who famously failed thousands of times before successfully inventing the electric light bulb. Edison once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Each failure was a step closer to his ultimate goal, a learning experience rather than a defeat. His story reminds us that setbacks often bring us closer to breakthroughs, revealing paths we wouldn't have considered otherwise. Even in our personal lives, we all know people who have faced challenges and continued onward. Whether it's a friend who's had to reinvent themselves after a job loss, or a family member who's overcome illness, these examples show us the power of resilience and the ability to turn setbacks into opportunities for growth. Their stories remind us that the way we respond to challenges shapes our path forward. As we conclude this chapter, remember that setbacks are not roadblocks, they're stepping stones, moments to reassess, recalibrate, and refuel. Every great journey involves challenges, and these challenges often provide us with the skills and insights we need to reach the summit. Embrace each setback as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to adapt. With every obstacle, you're refining your path and deepening your resilience. Take a moment to reflect on a setback you've experienced in the past. Consider how it shaped you, what you learned, and how it might have prepared you for future challenges. By viewing setbacks as an essential part of growth, you strengthen your resolve and reaffirm your commitment to the journey. Remember, every step forward, even after a fall, brings you closer to the top. Trust in yourself, embrace the lessons that come with each challenge, and know that each storm you weather is part of the journey to your highest peaks. Chapter 4. Discovering Strength. Power found in the ascent. Imagine climbing a steep section of the mountain. Every muscle aches, every breath feels heavy, and doubt begins to whisper. Maybe I'm not strong enough to keep going. But just when you feel the urge to stop, something incredible happens. You push through the discomfort, find your rhythm, and realize that you're stronger than you thought. There's an exhilaration that comes with this realization, a sense of power that only reveals itself in moments of challenge. This chapter is about discovering the strength you carry within, strength that often remains hidden until it's needed most. Many people wait for evidence of their strength to appear before they take on a challenge, but true strength is forged in the midst of the journey. With each step upward, as you navigate obstacles and persevere through hardship, your inner resilience grows. In the following sections, we'll explore how inner strength is discovered and nurtured through adversity. You'll see how growth happens subtly, sometimes without you even realizing it, until you look back and recognize how far you've come. Remember, strength isn't something you find before the journey, it's something you develop in the climb. As you climb, you may not immediately feel stronger. In fact, the journey often leaves you feeling vulnerable and uncertain. This vulnerability can be uncomfortable, but it's essential to growth. It's in these moments of discomfort that true resilience begins to form, a resilience rooted not in appearing invulnerable but in persevering despite vulnerability. 1. The power of incremental growth. Strength is often subtle and cumulative. Each small challenge you face, each little victory, adds to your reservoir of resilience. Think of a hiker whose legs grow stronger with every mile, even if they don't notice it right away. It's only after hours of climbing that they realize they can handle steeper paths and more difficult terrain than they could at the start. Similarly, each time you tackle an obstacle, you build your ability to face bigger challenges. 2. Embracing discomfort. Embracing discomfort is another key element of discovering strength. Discomfort can be a powerful teacher. revealing abilities you might not otherwise tap into. The trick is to recognize that discomfort isn't a signal to stop, it's often a sign that you're breaking through to new levels of growth. Athletes, artists, and even professionals all understand that to reach new heights, they must first move beyond their comfort zones. For each of us, this means allowing ourselves to be stretched and tested, trusting that we'll come out stronger on the other side. 3. Practicing self-belief. Finally, developing inner strength requires belief in oneself. Strength is as much about mindset as it is about action. Trusting in your own resilience, even when it hasn't yet been proven, is a radical act of self-belief. When you believe that you are capable of overcoming challenges, your mind and body respond accordingly. Self-belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, guiding you to act with confidence and resolve. In moments of self-doubt, remind yourself of past challenges you've overcome. These moments are reminders of the strength you already possess, evidence that you can face what lies ahead. The simple act of choosing to believe in yourself adds to your strength and builds resilience. Consider Maya Angelou, the poet and civil rights activist, whose life was marked by adversity and resilience. Angelou faced significant challenges in her early years, from poverty to trauma, and yet she grew into one of the most influential voices of her time. She once wrote, "I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it." Angelou's strength wasn't something she was born with, it was something she discovered through perseverance, through finding her voice and standing up for her beliefs despite the hardships she faced. Or think about Ernest Shackleton, the Antarctic explorer. In 1914, Shackleton and his crew found themselves trapped in polar ice, their ship crushed, leaving them stranded. Shackleton's resilience and leadership became legendary, not because he was unshakable but because he used every ounce of his strength to protect his crew and keep hope alive, even when the situation seemed hopeless. Shackleton's story teaches us that strength is often born from situations where we are pushed to our limits, where giving up seems easier but where we choose to press on. These stories remind us that strength is forged in the climb. People discover their resilience not when the journey is easy, but when they face the kind of challenges that force them to dig deep. Each one of us has this capacity for strength, waiting to be discovered through the experiences that stretch us. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to consider the strength you've developed in your life so far. Maybe it was an inner strength you discovered during a difficult time, or perhaps it was a resilience you didn't know you had until a specific moment called for it. Each of these experiences has added to the well of resilience within you, building a strength that will serve you on the journey ahead. Remember, inner strength isn't something you find before the climb, it's something you discover in the midst of it. Each challenge, each moment of discomfort, each push through doubt adds another layer to your resilience. With every step, you're growing stronger, not just in body but in spirit. Embrace this discovery process, knowing that strength, like any valuable trait, is a journey in itself. You're climbing higher, one step at a time, and with each ascent, your inner power deepens and expands. Let this be a reminder that you are stronger than you know. Keep moving forward, trusting in the strength that grows within you, a strength that will carry you through every part of this journey. Chapter 5. New Perspectives. A change in altitude changes your view. Imagine finally reaching a higher altitude on your mountain, pausing to look around. The landscape below is no longer as it was, it looks smaller, distant, and somehow more connected. From this new vantage point, you can see the path you've traveled, the obstacles you've overcome, and the expanse of the journey still ahead. You realize that the climb has given you more than strength, it's given you a new perspective, one that only comes from rising above what once seemed insurmountable. Perspective is a gift of the journey, a shift that changes how we see ourselves and the world around us. As we climb, our understanding deepens, our outlook broadens, and we begin to recognize the interconnectedness of our experiences. This chapter is about embracing these shifts in perspective, allowing them to reshape not just how we see the mountain, but how we see our lives. We'll explore how perspective is transformed at different stages of the journey, and how this shift allows us to appreciate the challenges, triumphs, and lessons along the way. Remember, the higher you climb, the clearer your view becomes, not only of the mountain itself but of yourself and the world below. Perspective shifts happen gradually throughout any journey. Often we're so focused on the next step that we don't realize our views are changing. But the further we go, the more we can see the interconnected nature of our choices, struggles, and achievements. Perspective is not simply about gaining altitude, it's about gaining insight, understanding, and empathy. 1. Seeing the journey as a whole. One of the most profound shifts in perspective comes when we stop focusing solely on the next immediate step and start seeing our journey as a whole. This broader view allows us to see how each experience, whether a triumph or a setback, plays a role in shaping us. Challenges that once seemed like obstacles now appear as essential parts of the path. Each experience, each choice, becomes part of a larger story. 2. Understanding the interconnectedness of events. As you climb higher, you begin to see how the various parts of your life connect in ways that weren't obvious before. Perhaps you realize that a setback early on gave you the resilience to tackle a more significant challenge later. Or maybe an experience you didn't value at the time prepared you for an unexpected opportunity. Life is filled with these connections, moments that only make sense when we see them from a distance. When you gain this perspective, you learn to trust in the process, understanding that each piece is part of a larger, interconnected whole. 3. Developing empathy and compassion. Another shift that often accompanies new perspectives is an increase in empathy. When we go through struggles ourselves, we're better able to understand the challenges others face. Climbing our own mountains allows us to relate to the journeys of those around us. We develop a sense of compassion that wasn't possible before. This empathy strengthens our relationships and helps us connect with others on a deeper level. Our climb, in this sense, isn't just about personal growth, it's about gaining insights that can positively impact those around us. 4. Appreciating the journey itself. Finally, as we gain perspective, we begin to appreciate the journey itself, not just the destination. We stop rushing toward a goal and start savoring the experiences along the way. This appreciation brings a sense of peace and fulfillment, helping us to live more fully in each moment, to see the beauty in the present instead of constantly looking ahead. Perspective teaches us to find joy in the process, knowing that each step forward is a step worth celebrating. Consider the perspective shift experienced by astronaut Chris Hadfield. During his time aboard the International Space Station, Hadfield looked down at Earth from space, an experience that profoundly changed his view of the world. From that vantage point, national borders disappeared, and he saw the planet as a single, interconnected whole. Hadfield describes this perspective shift as a dissolving of boundaries, one that inspired a sense of unity and interconnectedness. His journey into space wasn't just about exploration, it was about expanding his view and understanding of life on Earth. Or take the story of Helen Keller, who was blind and deaf from a young age, but developed a unique perspective that enabled her to appreciate life in ways many of us overlook. Through her journey, Keller learned to see the world in a way that transcended physical sight. Her perspective was shaped not by what she could observe but by what she could feel, learn, and experience. Her story reminds us that perspective isn't just about what we see, it's about how we choose to interpret and engage with the world around us. These examples highlight the transformative power of perspective, showing us that the view from the top isn't simply about seeing more, it's about understanding more deeply, with a sense of connection and compassion that changes how we approach life. As you move forward on your journey, remember that each step higher offers you a new vantage point. The challenges, the moments of doubt, and the breakthroughs you experience all contribute to a shift in perspective, allowing you to see the world from a place of greater clarity and insight. This new view not only helps you appreciate your journey but also shapes how you approach the lives and journeys of others. Take a moment to consider how your perspective has changed over the course of your life. Reflect on experiences that once seemed difficult but now reveal themselves as valuable parts of your story. Embrace the understanding that comes with these shifts in perspective, and let it guide you to approach each day with a sense of gratitude and compassion. The higher you climb, the more expansive your view becomes. Allow this perspective to deepen your connection with yourself, with others, and with the world. Each new vantage point is a gift of the journey, a reminder that the climb is as much about seeing differently as it is about reaching the top. Chapter 6. Reaching the Summit. Embracing the View. Imagine finally reaching the summit of your mountain. You've endured setbacks, grown stronger, and gained new perspectives. Now, standing at the top, you can see the entire path that led you here. The view is breathtaking, filled with a sense of accomplishment, clarity, and a quiet satisfaction that words alone can't capture. There's a deep joy in realizing that you've done it, you've climbed your mountain. This chapter is about embracing the summit moments, the milestones we work so hard to reach. These moments are not just rewards but reflections of the resilience, courage, and growth you've cultivated along the way. The summit offers a rare opportunity to pause, to appreciate the journey, and to celebrate how far you've come. But reaching the summit is not about resting on your laurels. It's about using this moment of triumph to reinforce your sense of purpose, to honor the journey that brought you here, and to inspire you for what comes next. We'll explore how to embrace and celebrate the view from the top without losing sight of the humility and growth that made this moment possible. Summit moments in life are rare, and they deserve to be fully experienced and appreciated. These are the moments when everything aligns, when the hard work, persistence, and resilience all come together. Reaching a goal or overcoming a major challenge is a profound experience that teaches us about our potential and capabilities. 1. The importance of reflection and gratitude. Upon reaching the summit, it's essential to take a moment for deep reflection. Think back on the challenges you faced, the times you considered giving up, and the strength you found to continue. Acknowledge each part of the journey, including the setbacks and doubts, as essential to reaching this point. Expressing gratitude for the journey allows you to fully appreciate the victory, knowing that it's not just the summit but each step that led you here. 2. Recognizing personal growth. Every climb changes us, and the summit is an opportunity to recognize the ways in which you've grown. Perhaps you've developed resilience, cultivated patience, or discovered a new level of self-belief. These are the intangible rewards of the journey, the qualities you carry forward long after you leave the summit. Reflecting on this growth reinforces the journey's value, reminding you that success is as much about who you become as what you achieve. 3. Embracing humility and staying grounded. When we achieve something significant, it's easy to let pride take over. But true strength lies in balancing pride with humility. Remember that every achievement is part of a larger journey. Maintaining humility helps us stay grounded, recognizing that our accomplishments are not just personal triumphs, but opportunities to inspire and uplift others. Humility reminds us to see each summit as a new beginning, not a final destination. 4. Finding purpose beyond the summit. Finally, consider how this achievement fits into your larger purpose. Reaching a goal doesn't mean your journey is over. Instead, it offers a renewed sense of purpose, a chance to look forward to new challenges and experiences. Use this moment to reflect on what comes next, knowing that each summit leads to another, each achievement inspiring you to grow in new ways. Embrace the idea that there are always new peaks to explore, new perspectives to gain. Consider the story of mountain climber Reinhold Messner, who became the first person to climb Mount Everest without supplemental oxygen. This summit, a feat thought impossible at the time, was not just a personal achievement, but a testament to human potential and resilience. Upon reaching the top, Messner did not view it as a moment to boast. Instead, he humbly acknowledged the power of the mountain and the humility it inspired in him. His summit was as much a journey inward as it was upward, teaching him that achievement brings responsibility and a continued commitment to growth. Or think of Malala Yousafzai, who fought for girls' education despite facing unimaginable obstacles. Receiving the Nobel Peace Prize was a summit moment in her life, but rather than rest on this achievement, she used it as a platform to further her cause. Malala reminds us that our summits can be stepping stones for new journeys, ways to help others and inspire broader change. Her story exemplifies the strength in celebrating victories while remaining committed to a larger purpose. These stories remind us that the summit is more than a destination, it's an opportunity for reflection, growth, and renewed purpose. Whether climbing a literal or figurative mountain, true fulfillment comes from embracing the journey and using each achievement as a foundation for future endeavors. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to celebrate your own achievements, no matter how big or small. Reflect on the journey that brought you here, the resilience you built, and the growth you experienced. Recognize the summit as a testament to your strength and dedication, a reminder that you are capable of reaching great heights. Remember that each summit is part of a larger journey. Embrace this moment of triumph, but hold on to the humility and purpose that have guided you along the way. Celebrate the view, the clarity, and the sense of accomplishment, but let it fuel your desire for continued growth. Summits are milestones, not endpoints. Each success brings new opportunities and new challenges, inviting you to climb higher, see further, and embrace a wider view. Let this summit moment inspire you to keep moving forward, knowing that each peak brings you closer to a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. The journey is far from over, and each step forward opens new vistas of possibility. Chapter 7. The Descent. Lessons in Coming Back Down. The climb to the summit is exhilarating, filled with challenges, growth, and triumph. But reaching the top is only one part of the journey. After celebrating the view from above, every climber must begin the descent. Coming back down from a peak is a vital phase, often overlooked, yet it holds its own lessons, challenges, and opportunities for reflection. The descent allows us to revisit the path we've traveled with newfound clarity, appreciating each step in a way we couldn't on the way up. In this chapter, we'll explore the lessons that come with returning from a summit. The descent is a time to internalize the growth and experiences gained, to think about how to use them moving forward, and to consider how we can support others on their journeys. It's an invitation to use the knowledge we've gained to give back, whether by sharing wisdom, lending a hand, or simply being a source of encouragement for others who are still climbing. We'll discuss why the descent is a time for gratitude, reflection, and connection. Remember, every mountain climbed and every goal achieved shapes us, and sharing those experiences can have a profound impact on the lives of others. Coming back down isn't the end of the journey, it's a new beginning, one that can be filled with purpose and compassion. Descending from a summit is a powerful experience that brings its own lessons. It's a time to reflect on the journey with a clearer perspective, and to recognize how each part of the climb has contributed to your growth. Coming back down allows you to see the mountain, and yourself, with greater understanding. 1. Reflection and integration of lessons. As you descend, you have the chance to reflect on the insights and strengths gained along the way. The obstacles that once seemed daunting are now viewed from a position of accomplishment. This phase is essential for integrating the journey's lessons into your everyday life. Reflect on the ways in which the climb has shaped you, the challenges you've overcome, and how those experiences can guide you moving forward. Every journey changes us in subtle ways, and the descent offers an opportunity to acknowledge and internalize those changes. 2. The gift of perspective. Coming back down allows us to view the path from a new vantage point. We gain perspective not only on our own journey but also on the journeys of others. When we climb a mountain, literal or metaphorical, we often realize how interconnected our experiences are with those of others. This newfound perspective can deepen our empathy, helping us see that each person has their own mountains to climb. By recognizing this, we become more compassionate, better able to relate to and support others in their struggles and triumphs. 3. Sharing your experience to inspire others. One of the most meaningful aspects of the descent is the ability to share your story with others. When we share the lessons we've learned, we become mentors, guides, and sources of inspiration for those who are still climbing. Your story of resilience, perseverance, and success can give others the courage to take their own first steps. Whether through storytelling, mentoring, or simply offering encouragement, your journey can be a powerful tool for positive impact. 4. Finding purpose in giving back. After reaching a summit, there's a natural desire to give back. This can take many forms: mentoring others, supporting causes you believe in, or simply being present for those in need. Giving back adds depth to your achievements, allowing them to become part of something greater than yourself. By helping others, you create a legacy that extends beyond your own accomplishments, becoming part of a larger network of support and inspiration. Consider the story of Sir Edmund Hillary, one of the first 2 climbers confirmed to have reached the summit of Mount Everest. Upon returning from his monumental climb, Hillary dedicated much of his life to supporting the Sherpa community in Nepal. He built schools, hospitals, and infrastructure in the villages he had encountered along his journey. Hillary's descent wasn't just about returning home, it was about using his achievement to give back to the people who had supported him. His legacy lives on, not just in his accomplishment but in the positive change he created. Or think of Maya Angelou, who overcame great personal challenges to become a celebrated poet, writer, and activist. After reaching her own summits, she spent much of her life mentoring and inspiring others, sharing her story to help those facing difficulties. Through her writing and public speaking, she gave a voice to the struggles and triumphs of many, empowering others to rise above their own challenges. Her legacy serves as a reminder that our personal journeys have the power to inspire and uplift those around us. These examples highlight the impact of sharing our journeys, showing us that coming back down is an opportunity to contribute positively to the lives of others. By reflecting on what we've gained and sharing it with others, we create a cycle of growth and inspiration that extends far beyond our own achievements. As we conclude this chapter, remember that the descent is a crucial part of the journey, one that invites reflection, humility, and connection. Coming back down from a summit allows you to see the path from a new perspective, to recognize the growth within yourself, and to consider how your journey can impact others. Take a moment to think about how your experiences could inspire or help someone else. Perhaps there's wisdom in your journey that could support a friend, a family member, or even a stranger facing a similar climb. Embrace the idea that your story, your strength, and your resilience are valuable gifts to share. As you continue forward, let the lessons of your climb guide you, but keep your heart open to those still on their way up. By using your journey to encourage and uplift others, you create a ripple effect that carries the power of your achievement far beyond the summit. The descent is not the end, it's a beginning, an invitation to share, to connect, and to leave a lasting legacy. Chapter 8. The journey continues. Mountains yet to climb. As you stand at the base of another mountain, you might reflect on the summits you've reached, the challenges you've overcome, and the growth you've experienced. Each mountain you've climbed has taught you invaluable lessons and shaped who you are today. But as any adventurer knows, the journey doesn't end with a single summit. Life is a series of peaks and valleys, with each climb revealing new possibilities, new challenges, and new views that are only accessible to those willing to keep moving forward. In this final chapter, we'll explore the importance of embracing the journey as an ongoing process of self-discovery, growth, and transformation. Mountains will continue to rise on your horizon, each one inviting you to explore new heights and gain new perspectives. By staying open to these opportunities, you continue to evolve, to deepen your understanding of yourself, and to expand your capacity for resilience, empathy, and wisdom. This chapter is an invitation to see life itself as an endless journey, one where every climb brings you closer to your fullest potential. Embrace the idea that there is always another mountain, another challenge, another goal, another way to grow. The journey doesn't end here, it continues. As long as you are willing to take that next step. Life is a journey with endless possibilities, and each mountain we climb is an invitation to explore a new facet of ourselves and the world around us. The key to a fulfilling life is not in reaching one summit, but in staying open to the mountains that await. 1. Embracing lifelong learning and growth. Every mountain climb brings new knowledge and understanding. Even when you reach a goal, there's always more to learn, new skills to develop, and new perspectives to gain. Embracing a mindset of lifelong learning means seeing each experience as a chance to grow, even when the path is challenging. Remember, growth doesn't happen in a single ascent. It's a continual process that evolves with each new mountain. Whether it's learning a new skill, taking on a new responsibility, or exploring a new passion, lifelong learning keeps the journey fresh and exciting. 2. Seeking out new challenges and opportunities. Once you've reached one summit, it's natural to feel a sense of completion. But this accomplishment is also an invitation to explore new horizons. Seeking out new challenges keeps you engaged and inspired, preventing complacency. It doesn't mean you have to climb the highest peaks every time. Sometimes, the most meaningful challenges are the ones that are closer to home. Whatever the mountain, big or small, each challenge is an opportunity to expand your limits and deepen your understanding of yourself. 3. Embracing change and adaptability. Life's journey is rarely predictable, and often, new mountains appear in unexpected places. Developing adaptability is crucial for navigating the unknown. Being open to change means you're willing to adjust your path when necessary, to pivot when things don't go as planned, and to approach each challenge with curiosity rather than fear. This adaptability allows you to face new mountains with confidence, knowing that even unexpected changes are part of the journey. 4. Leaving a legacy and inspiring others. Every mountain you climb adds to your legacy. The strength, resilience, and insights you've gained become a source of inspiration for others. Embrace the idea that by continuing your journey, you create a ripple effect that encourages others to embark on their own paths. Legacy isn't just about personal achievement, it's about creating a positive impact that extends beyond yourself. By pursuing new challenges, you demonstrate that growth is a lifelong process, showing others the value of embracing each new mountain with courage and hope. Think of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who even into her later years continued to tackle new challenges, advocate for equality, and inspire change. Her life was a testament to the idea that there is always more to contribute, more to fight for, and more mountains to climb. Ginsburg's legacy didn't end with one landmark case or achievement. Instead, it grew with each new step she took, inspiring countless others to keep moving forward. Or consider Sir David Attenborough, who has spent decades exploring and documenting the wonders of the natural world. Despite his age, Attenborough continues to pursue new adventures, adapting to new technologies and engaging with new generations to inspire awareness and respect for the planet. His passion for lifelong learning and his willingness to tackle new challenges exemplify the idea that there is always more to discover, always another mountain to climb. These stories remind us that life's journey doesn't have a finish line. Each accomplishment is simply a stepping stone, a foundation upon which we can build future adventures and growth. By staying open to new mountains, we continue to expand our horizons and enrich our lives. As we close this final chapter, take a moment to consider the mountains still waiting on your horizon. Each one represents a new opportunity, a new challenge, and a new way to grow. Embrace the journey ahead with the same courage, curiosity, and resilience that brought you to this point, knowing that the path forward is filled with endless potential. Remember, the beauty of life lies in its continuous unfolding. There is no ultimate summit, only peaks that inspire us to keep climbing, to keep seeking, and to keep discovering new depths of strength and understanding. As you move forward, let each step be a celebration of both the journey and the journey yet to come. So go forth and climb your mountains. Not for the applause, not for the recognition, but for the joy of seeing the world and yourself from new heights. Embrace each new ascent as a gift, a chance to see life from a wider, more meaningful perspective. The journey continues, and with each new mountain, you'll find that there's always more to see, more to learn, and more to become. Final words. As we bring this journey to a close, remember that each mountain you climb is an invitation to see more deeply, to grow more fully, and to live more openly. You've faced challenges, discovered strength, gained new perspectives, and embraced the view from the summits. But know that this journey, your journey, doesn't end here. Life has more peaks, more valleys, more paths to explore, each one rich with potential. Take with you the resilience you've built, the wisdom you've gathered, and the quiet confidence that grows from knowing you are capable of far more than you once believed. Let these gifts be a steady guide as you face new heights, and let your journey inspire those around you to climb their own mountains. So go forward, one step at a time, embracing the journey for all it offers. Climb not for the world to see, but to truly see the world. Climb to discover, to learn, and to become. And as you continue on, may each mountain you encounter bring you closer to the person you're meant to be. Take care and be well.